Welcome back to our channel. Live spoilers for Friday, August 1. Today we're diving into the tangled web of secrets, schemes, and almost love affairs simmering in Salem. So grab a snack and settle in for an extended look at the drama that's about to explode. Marlena's high-stakes Dr. Marlena Evans never conducts a casual chat, and her upcoming interrogation of young Rachel Black proves it. Officially, Marlena wants to gauge whether Rachel is mature enough to testify at Brady and Kristen's custody trial, but the psychiatrist's questions will cut deeper. She zeroes in on Rachel's obsession with the Arabian Night, a dusty illustrated volume that once helped Stefano Di Mera bend vulnerable minds to his will. Marlena suspects the child might be reenacting passages in her daydreams, possibly an early sign that Stefano's old conditioning protocol is echoing through another generation. Expect Marlena to gently probe for trigger phrases, hidden fears, and any mention of the phoenix, hoping to shut down trouble before it flies. Behind the one-way glass, John Black and Belle Brady listen anxiously. If Marlena confirms that Stefano's subliminal programming lingers in the book's margins, the evidence could sway the judge to bar Kristen from unsupervised visits. Yet a complication lurks. Rachel is fiercely protective of her mother, and a single leading question may bombard the session with tears, guilt, and a child's plea for family unity. The scene is poised to pivot courtroom strategy for everyone involved. Cat Green and Chad DiMera. Chemistry in quarantine elsewhere. Corporate crusader Cat Green stumbles into an involuntary lockdown with Chad DiMera when faulty safety protocols trap them inside the DiMera Enterprises panic room. The sealed metal chamber forces them to share recycled air, lukewarm bottled water, and an uncomfortable amount of eye contact. At first they spar about Cat's investigative text exchanges with the elusive Mr. Rafe, a cyber alias Chad recently traced to a burner phone registered in Jakarta. Chad playfully accuses Cat of harboring a secret lover. She fires back that Chad is deflecting, clearly more intrigued by her social life than his own merger paperwork. By the time maintenance overrides the security system, they've traded childhood memories, a handful of almost kisses, and a promise to keep quiet about the off-the-record confessions they both spilled in the dark. Later, Abigail's portrait catches Chad's attention as he crosses the mansion hall. He pauses longer than usual, replaying Cat's laugh in his head, then slips the phone holding Cat's number back into his pocket. Jealousy? Possibly. More likely, Chad is terrified of betraying Abigail's memory, yet equally afraid of the loneliness that hounds him every night after the twins fall asleep. Brady and Sarah. When comfort turns into complication across town, Brady Black and Dr. Sarah Horton spend late evenings at the hospital's pediatric wing assembling care packages for transplant kids. What begins as a wholesome distraction grows complicated fast. Brady's eyes linger on Sarah's smile a second longer each night. Meanwhile, Sarah still measures every man against the shrapnel of her failed marriage to Xander. She appreciates Brady's steady friendship, hot cocoa runs, no strings attached pep talks, but misses every clue that his feelings are blooming into full-throttle attraction. Their dynamic takes a definitive turn when Brady surprises Sarah with a dawn picnic on the roof terrace, complete with her favorite strawberry scones. She thanks him with a warm hug that lasts just long enough for lurking paparazzo Leo Stark to snap a grainy photo sure to enrage Kristen and ignite gossip blogs. By the time the image circulates, Brady's simple crush will implode into public speculation about an engagement on the horizon, forcing both friends to clarify what they truly want. EJ's hidden agenda at University Hospital. Meanwhile, EJ DiMera's sudden enthusiasm for improving patient care masks an audacious power play. Using shell donations funneled through a medical tech nonprofit, EJ secures a seat on the hospital's board of trustees. His real goal: covert access to the genomic analysis lab, where Dr. Wilhelm Rolf currently revives suspended research on personalized memory implants. If EJ controls the lab's security protocols, he can tamper with digital evidence linking him to offshore money laundering, evidence Rafe Hernandez and Cat Green are desperate to trace. Hospital staff already grumble that the HVAC retrofit EJ approved seems permanently stuck on sauna mode. Rolf, unbothered, claims higher ambient temperatures accelerate cellular regeneration in his test cultures. Nurses, however, worry the stifling heat will trigger bacterial blooms and malpractice nightmares. If EJ's plan succeeds, he gains scientific leverage and possibly a brand new slate of programmable allies. Rafe and Cat. Following the money trail, Commissioner Rafe Hernandez partners with Cat to untangle EJ's financial web. They discover erratic wire transfers flagged by an Interpol algorithm designed for anti-terror funding. Each transfer terminates in a cryptocurrency wallet nicknamed Phoenix Nest, a blatant nod to Stefano's symbol. Cat cross-references the wallet's traffic against hospital vendor invoices and finds a pattern. Every month, Phoenix Nest pays precisely the same sum university hospital spends on experimental cryostorage coolant. Translation: EJ is laundering cash by inflating the hospital's supply orders, quietly bankrolling Rolf's unorthodox science. Armed with spreadsheets and timestamps, Rafe plans to subpoena the board's email archive. Yet he knows a misstep could push EJ to torch all digital traces overnight. As insurance, Cat secretly routes a duplicate set of files to Chad's private server, hoping a DiMera insider might hesitate before wiping family property. Xander, Sarah, Gwen. A triangle on legal paper. Though Sarah filed separation papers, the absence of official divorce decrees leaves her in marital limbo with Xander Cook. Both claim to be moving on, but legal loopholes say otherwise. One humid evening, Xander meets Gwen Rizek for oysters at small bar to celebrate her new tabloid column. The reunion feels innocent until they exit and spot Brady and Sarah embracing outside the taxi stand. Xander's jaw clenches. Gwen's eyes widen with opportunity. Back at Gwen's apartment, Xander vents about hypocritical double standards, failing to notice Gwen uncorking Bordeaux and dimming the lights. She insists she's fine being his rebound, but an ulterior motive pulses in every soft-spoken word. Reclaim Xander's loyalty and secure a power couple status that could rival any DiMera dynasty. Whether Xander relents or calls Sarah to confront misunderstood optics will define the next fracture in Salem's romantic map. Dr. Rolf's Arctic plans in a tropical ward. Finally, the ever-eccentric Dr. Rolf files a requisition for portable vortex coolers capable of dropping his lab temperature to 10 degrees Celsius on command. The irony? While the rest of the hospital swelters, Rolf wants to simulate Arctic conditions for cryogenic embryos he claims belong to future titans of Salem. Rumor whispers that one embryo's genetic markers match a blend of Stefano's DNA and an unnamed surrogate. If true, EJ's thermostat games are child's play compared with the resurrection blueprint unfolding beneath the ER. Janitors, overhearing Rolf's monologues about Phoenix hatchlings, begin betting on which DiMera offspring will surface next. But the real wager lies in whether Rolf's chill chambers will hide financial crimes, biological weapons, or both. Before Rafe's task force kicks in the door, what comes next? Salem stands on the brink of overlapping storms. Custody wars, laboratory conspiracies, emotional rebounds, and corporate espionage. One overheated hospital corridor could ignite them all. As August rolls toward trial dates and boardroom votes, alliances will flip faster than a coin in Abe Carver's mayoral office. Next, can EJ and Belle survive this ordeal? A tense courtroom drama threatens to shatter ties on Days of Our Lives. Welcome back, Days of Our Lives fans. As the courtroom drama intensifies in Salem, tensions are rising, emotions are running high, and once solid relationships are beginning to crack under the weight of suspicion, grief, and duty. At the center of this explosive conflict are EJ DiMera and Belle Black, two individuals bound by professional ties, personal grief, and now, a heart-wrenching moral divide that may prove too deep to cross. What started as a seemingly straightforward court proceeding has turned into a powder keg of emotional turmoil. And as accusations fly and old wounds reopen, we find ourselves asking, can EJ and Belle weather the storm, or has this trial already taken an irreparable toll on their relationship? A father and son clash in court. The courtroom was tense from the moment EJ DiMera took the floor. As lead prosecutor, he came out swinging, making bold claims and putting forth a compelling case. But it was what happened off-script that left the DiMera family in shock. In a move that stunned many in attendance, Johnny DiMera, EJ's own son, launched a heated verbal attack on Roman Brady, his own grandfather by marriage, calling into question Roman's credibility and painting him as someone with a possible motive. The courtroom fell silent, but none were more outraged than EJ himself. After court adjourned, EJ cornered Johnny and reprimanded him sternly for attacking Roman in such a manner. "What were you thinking?" he demanded. Johnny, clearly frustrated, didn't back down. "You said it yourself, Dad. This trial is about uncovering motives. Roman's got one just like the rest." Though EJ understood the logic, it didn't make the betrayal sting any less. "There's a line, Johnny," he said, barely able to contain his anger. "And you crossed it." Johnny didn't stay to argue. He simply muttered that he needed to see Chanel and left the courthouse in a cloud of tension. Left alone, EJ muttered bitterly to no one. Nothing. A single word, loaded with the heavy burden of disappointment, isolation, and regret. Belle and EJ face off before EJ could collect his thoughts. Belle Black approached him, her tone calm but pointed. She tried to offer a sliver of reassurance, telling EJ, "You did well today," but instead of accepting the gesture, EJ snapped. Fury flared as EJ lashed out at Belle, accusing her of letting personal feelings cloud her judgment. He questioned her stance during the trial, especially her opposition to Johnny's testimony. "Johnny is your flesh and blood," he shouted. "How can you be so cruel?" Belle, stunned by the accusation, didn't hold back. "I tried to remove myself from this trial, EJ," she shot back. "But you insisted I stay. Don't turn this on me now." She reminded him, firmly but not unkindly, that her job was to ensure the trial proceeded fairly. She wasn't playing favorites. She was doing what was right, painful though it may be. "This is a fair trial, EJ. That's all I ever wanted." For a moment, EJ was speechless. The fire in Belle's eyes made it clear she wasn't backing down. Her loyalty was never in question, and yet here he was doubting her, attacking her. In the aftermath of his own father's manipulations, his son's actions, and now Belle's integrity being at odds with his own desperation, EJ found himself cornered by his own fears. He took a step forward, voice softening. "Belle, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Not after everything you've lost." Belle turned away, her pain still fresh. The death of her father, John Black, had left her raw, exposed, and emotionally drained. EJ's outburst had only made things worse. He tried to offer comfort, but she stopped him cold. "No," she said firmly, holding up a hand. "We don't get to do this. Not until the trial is over. A relationship on the edge. What we're witnessing here is more than just courtroom drama. This is the slow unraveling of a bond built on mutual respect, shared grief, and an unspoken emotional connection." EJ and Belle are two people struggling to do the right thing, each in their own way, but the trial is forcing them onto opposite sides of a deepening chasm. EJ, grieving his own past and increasingly desperate for justice, or perhaps revenge, finds himself caught between his roles as father, prosecutor, and grieving son. His instincts tell him to protect his family, but the law demands something colder, more objective. And Belle, who has already suffered the devastating loss of her father, is forced to suppress her emotions daily to ensure the trial remains impartial. They are both wounded, both vulnerable, and both trying to make sense of the chaos around them. But as tensions mount, it's becoming clear that even the strongest of bonds can fray under enough pressure. The bigger picture in Salem, this trial has become more than just a legal proceeding. It's a mirror reflecting the fractures in Salem's most iconic families. The DiMeras, the Bradys, and the Blacks are all being tested in ways they never expected. Johnny's aggression in court may have been driven by a desire to uncover the truth, but it's also fueled by his frustration over being kept in the dark. EJ's anger is masking his guilt and confusion over his shifting priorities. And Belle, stoic and unwavering, is quietly carrying the weight of it all. This trial isn't just about guilt or innocence anymore. It's about legacy, loyalty, and love. And as we move into the next chapter of this saga, the question remains: can EJ and Belle survive this ordeal? Or has the courtroom become a battlefield that neither of them can walk away from unscathed? Stay tuned, because in Salem, nothing stays buried for long, and the fallout is only just beginning.